Good afternoon, everybody. It's Shauna with Valkeryie Consulting, and I am going to show you how to supercharge your social media today. I do have everybody on mute, and I will be taking questions at the end of the webinar. If you find yourself with a question throughout the presentation, just type it in the chat box, and I'll address it when we get to that point. I'm sure there might be a couple. On the left-hand side of your screen in the chat box, you should see a link where you can actually download the presentation from today. Feel free to download it now or download it later. I will also publish it on SlideShare as well as on our website. So without further ado, it's 1 o'clock and I run on Lombardi time, so we are going to get it going. First off, for those of you who don't know me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I was named a marketing and content marketing expert by the San Antonio Express-News in 2014. I still hold that designation. I've been featured on the front pages of Yahoo, MSN Money, Yahoo Shine, CNN Money, Realtor.com, Active Rain, Examiner, and many, many others. My content marketing strategies landed me talk show interviews, free commercial spots, radio show interviews, and over 15 national video panels for sites like the Huffington Post. Content marketing is where you need to be, and it's something that we do better than just about anybody else. If you look up things, for example, like real estate investment, you'll see that my content is on the front page of Google. Nobody else is. Nobody else that's doing content marketing anyway. If you look up something like webinar, you'll also see my content on the front page of Google. So we know how to get you there over and over again. I am recognized as an expert in marketing and content marketing with many local and national women's business groups. I've been the CEO of Valkeryie Business Consulting, my company, since 2014, and I'm also the author of How to Make Money, Big Money Blogging in 90 Days or Less. So let's talk about what we're going to cover today. I'm going to talk to you about connecting and inviting people properly to a myriad of different social media platforms, how to use ads to generate more business, basic content creation, the differences between microblogging and blogging, curating content or otherwise borrowing content, how to master one platform at a time, the value of contests and how to implement them on your Facebook business pages, on your Twitter, and even on your YouTube, and how to measure your success. Analytics might not be fun, but it's important. So first off, we're going to talk about how to build your social media following. Just as a quick poll, if you wouldn't mind, type in the chat box approximately how many friends you have on Facebook right now. I'm going to go ahead and type my answer in. Just on Facebook alone on my platform, I have 5,000. I see 1,200 coming in. Maybe 500. Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on this one? 5,001. That's funny. 1,769. Maybe 100. Okay. Anybody else? The more people you have following you on both your personal page and also on your business page, the better your results are going to be. You have to remember sales, social media, it's a numbers game. So what we have to focus on is increasing the numbers. On my personal page, I have 5,000, we'll call them friends. And on my business pages, I have several other 100, but I also have many people who follow me on my social media, on Facebook, for example, that see everything I post that I make public. They don't get to see what gets posted to friends, and I'll go over that in a little bit. So it makes me feel a little bit more personable for these folks because they feel like they can kind of get to know me. And that's so important because if you're just this bland, generic figure, nobody's really going to care what you have to say. So it's important to be personable and engaging. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Your goal is to add 10 to 20 people per day on each platform that you use. As an aside to this, not every platform is perfect for every single business. For example, I have a client who's a commercial real estate agent. Does he need to be on Pinterest? Heck no, he doesn't need to be on Pinterest. Where does he need to be? He needs to be on Facebook. He needs to be on Twitter. He needs to be on LinkedIn. So that's part of what we're going to discuss when we're talking about a social media strategy. Who's your demographic? Who are you marketing to? And where do you need to be? On many different platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, you can join groups or put people in lists. This is incredibly important. The more organized you are as your friend count goes up, as your follower count goes up, the easier it's going to be to manage your social media platforms. You also want to participate in online discussions, live and static. Meaning, don't just post an update on Twitter or Facebook or wherever and have a bunch of people comment and not respond to those people. Because after a while, they're going to feel like they're talking to thin air, like you don't care. And people do not care what you know unless they know that you care. So you need to be participatory in those things. For example, you could do a live Twitter chat where you can promote that and say, okay, you can get on Twitter with me and ask me questions using this hashtag. You could do the same thing with Google Hangouts. People love to be able to get to talk to somebody who is important or in charge or who is an expert on something. So you have to take extra steps to make yourself available in that regard. And the number one cardinal rule I have is stop marketing. There's so many network marketers out there. There's so many people who are just like, here's my product, here's my service in your face. Make it interesting. And we're going to talk about how to make it interesting throughout the rest of this presentation. Endorse people. Talk about your favorite clients. Get those testimonials. Have people talk about, what a great service you have, what a great product you have, what you're providing. Think with them. With them is what's in it for me. Because really, the more you're just posting about me, the less people are going to listen because they really don't care. Think about you as you're scrolling through your news feed. When you're scrolling, you're seeing a bunch of, excuse my French, shit you don't care about. So we're going to talk about how to increase your Facebook footprint in 30 days. Valkeryie Consulting is releasing several case studies on increasing your Facebook footprint organically and also using paid ads. I can tell you both are effective. You'll have to read the case study to find out which ones work better. But here's an organic strategy for you. I want you to add 10 to 20 people per day on your invite list. Now, here's where you're going to run into a problem if you only have a couple hundred friends, okay? You're going to run out of people to invite. You're going to run out of people to invite pretty quickly. For example, I had a client when we started, he had about 200 Facebook friends. We got about 74 organic likes on his Facebook page. And then guess what happened? We ran out of people to invite. He had over 180 connections just waiting in his LinkedIn inbox that he hadn't even used. So make sure that you're using these platforms daily. The second thing I want you to do is to comment on at least 20 threads per day. Why 20? It's a good number. It's relatively manageable, but also because if you are not interacting with other people, why are they going to want to interact with you? That's the biggest problem people have. They'll get on there, they'll post something, they'll say something, but nobody really cares because they're not interacting with anybody else. So you need to say as much on other people's threads as you do on your own. On your business page, I recommend at least one contest per month. Get as creative as you want with it. I have a client where we do $25 gift cards. And really what this is doing is we plug this into his CRM, his customer relationship management tool, and we're building his list because the money is always in your mailing list. There's something that I heard from a social media expert, and I found this to be quite true, that for every one person you have on your mailing list, it equates to $1 per month. So let's think about that for a second. If you have 30,000 contacts in your database and you're using our system where you're monetizing your marketing and you're actually getting more clients by doing content management, that's a heck of a lot of money every month. So everybody's going to be about $1. You need to focus on interesting content. I'm going to tell you what people find interesting here in a minute. And then you want to add a like widget to your blog or website. You can do this on the Facebook developer site, or of course you can hire us to do it. You want to participate in at least one group discussion per day. There's many different groups on Facebook. I'm going to show you a little bit about that in a bit. And then also take out a Facebook ad to promote your page. Now on this, for anybody who follows Valkeryie Consulting online, you'll see that I did post something about that. And essentially every dollar you spend is going to equate to a new lead. Now for me, with the latest campaign that I did, it was extremely successful. And I ended up paying about 77 cents per lead, which is nothing. So, I mean, it really does make a huge difference when we're talking about advertising. And again, all this is in the case studies that we're putting together. How to increase your Twitter footprint in 30 days. It's a lot the same strategy. Add 10 to 20 people per day. Comment on at least 20 threads per day. Add your Twitter feed to your blog site. You can do this in your profile options under widgets. Retweet valuable content from SMEs, subject matter experts. Other people in your industry who might know a little bit more than you do, or people in what I recommend highly is related industries. So for example, if you're in the real estate industry, you don't need to be retweeting other realtor stuff. You need to be retweeting finance stuff, how to save for a down payment stuff, bank rate stuff, things like that, things that are going to add value. And then cross promote your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter on all of the other platforms. That's also incredibly important. Take out a Twitter ad to promote your page. That's another thing. And just like Facebook, it's going to come out to be about $1 per ad. But again, that's our $1 per lead every ad, which is literally nothing. So if you want 100 leads, it's going to be about $100. It might even be a little bit less, but that's okay. How to increase your Instagram footprint in 30 days. Instagram is getting huge. Right now, as far as the rankings go, as far as users, it's going to be Facebook is number 1, YouTube is number 2, Twitter is number 3. Pinterest used to be number 4, but now Instagram is taking that over. So Instagram is incredibly important. And there are several hacks that we're posting on the website that you can use for Instagram. If you don't want to just use it from your phone, you can actually program your Instagram updates as well as caption your Instagram updates directly from your desktop. You can do the same thing with Pinterest. Trust me, we're all about finding these cool tools and we have no problem sharing them with you. Instagram, again, 10 to 20 people per day. Comment on at least 10 to 20 threads per day and add your Instagram feed to your blog. There's a widget where you can do this. It's very simple and it's just plugging that information into your blog so that people have every opportunity to seek you out on every social media platform. Now, I know you're probably thinking, okay, well, Shauna, why is this important? I'm going to tell you why it's important. The more active you are on social media, the more you're posting on different platforms, the more you're posting interesting, engaging content that is different from what you're posting on other platforms, the more you're going to stay top of mind. And top of mind is where you need to be. Because the only commodity that matters in a digital world is attention. So if you're not getting attention from people that you're sharing your content with, you're not going to get sales. You're not going to boost your income. And quite frankly, you're going to feel like you're running on a treadmill because you just don't know what to do next. Let's talk about Pinterest for a minute. As I mentioned before, Pinterest is not for everybody. It really isn't. There are certain industries that do not belong on Pinterest. I have a client who's an attorney. She does not belong on Pinterest. There's really not much we can do with her there. So we really have to talk about and think about, okay, what is your industry? Where do you need to go? Pinterest is great, though, for anybody who's doing anything massively visual. People in the fitness industry, for example, posting fitness stuff on Pinterest on Mondays is huge. That's when you're going to get your most interaction. Real estate is big on Pinterest. But real estate is a little tricky in the sense that you have to do your boards a very specific way, especially if you want to increase your Google ranking organically from Pinterest. But it's the same principle here, adding 10 to 20 people a day, commenting on 20 different threads or pins per day, adding your Pinterest feed to your blog site. You can even program your blog to where people can pin or repin images that you're putting on your blog, which is great because, again, that's getting you more exposure. And one thing I am a huge fan of is leverage. Leverage yourself. Don't just use your marketing. Don't just rely on your network of 5,000 people. The more times your content gets shared, guess what happens? You've just leveraged their network. So instead of your content just being exposed to 5,000 people, all of a sudden it's exposed to 5 million. What do you think that's going to do for you? It's all going to drive traffic back to your website, to your blog, which is the thing that makes you money. So really, that's at the end of the day what we're looking to do, right? Is make more money, get more leads, get people who are qualified to buy. So we really have to focus on interesting, engaging content that we can share. Repin more valuable content from SMEs. Infographics on Pinterest are huge. There is a program I'm going to show you a little later where you can create your own infographics, basically repackaging a blog into an infographic. So you're not having to create content twice, but you can even create links and affiliate links so that you're making money off of an infographic. Really, there's one hard and fast rule you need to know about me. If it's not going to make me money, I'm not going to do it. So that's one thing that I do teach, and that's one thing I work with all of our clients on. Everything we do is going to make us money, both actively and passively. That's really why we're good at what we do. We know how to make you money actively and passively. I can even teach you how to post something on Facebook that's going to make you money. Who wouldn't want to make money posting on Facebook? I don't know, but we'll talk about that later. Increasing your LinkedIn footprint. Not going to go too deep into this because it's really kind of the same thing. You're adding 10 to 20 people per day. You're commenting on other people's things. You're joining at least 10 relevant groups, and you want to post in those daily. The reason I like LinkedIn groups is every time you're posting in a LinkedIn group, an email goes out to the group members. Email marketing is still very relevant. It's still very important, but you're not really marketing. You're just sharing information. You also want to make sure that you take some time out of your day to endorse other people for their skills. They will usually endorse you back. And you want to write at least one recommendation per day. There is a full class that I teach on each of these social media platforms. And because you all signed up for this webinar today, I will be emailing those out to you as they come up. So if you have any more in-depth questions about each platform, definitely take those webinars. Google Plus footprint. Google Plus was supposed to be a Facebook killer. Google Plus was supposed to be the new kid on the block, the up and comer. Well, Google Plus doesn't suck. It's not quite as relevant as the other platforms out there, but it is still relevant. So using Google Plus and leveraging things like Google Communities, Google Hangouts, those types of things are actually going to help boost your rankings on Google search better than anything else. Why? Because Google is treating everybody else like a redheaded stepchild, and they're treating their own posts on Google Plus as a way to help people engage more on this platform. So that's why I bring up Google Plus. You want to add at least 10 to 20 people per day here, comment on another 20 threads, cross-promote your business page and your personal page. The business pages on Google Plus, and this is something, if you don't have a business page on Google Plus, definitely take my class on this, because it's what's going to come up if somebody searches you, if somebody Googles you, and I guarantee you they are, your business page is going to come up on the front page of Google when they do that. And if you don't have one, you don't look as good as your competition who does. You want your profile completeness to be, well, your profile to be completely complete, rather. It's vital to your success. And the reason being is whatever sites you contribute to, whether it be your own blog, third-party sites, using my system that, you know, where you're interacting between third-party sites and also your own blog, you're going to want to have those things in your contributor section, because what happens with that is when you have that gravatar there, your beautiful, hot, sexy face appears right next to every single article that you're posting, no matter where you're posting it. Those get higher engagement rates and higher click-through rates. So again, the whole purpose here is to get them to click through either to A, your blog, or B, an article you wrote for another website, which, by the way, boys and girls, you get paid to do that too. So you're essentially, your marketing is paying you as opposed to you paying for your marketing. And then what you're getting at the bottom of that is a bio where people can go find you on social media. I can tell you right now, just being on the front page of Yahoo, when I first started on Facebook, I went from about 567 friends, but because I was on Yahoo's front page so much, because I was on Realtor.com's front page so much, I skyrocketed from 400 or 500 people to 5,000 almost overnight. So it definitely works. I'm living proof of it. I have lots of clients who are doing it, and once they see how it works, it makes a huge difference. Snapchat. Snapchat is something I have been learning courtesy of my 14-year-old who keeps me on top of all of these things. Snapchat is getting bigger, and a lot of people are using it for marketing. So if you don't have it yet, download that app. You can look me up and Snapchat me, and we can go back and forth if you want, because Snapchat's cool. Again, here you're going to want to add more friends every day. You're going to want to comment on Snapchats you receive and send at least one Snapchat per day. Now, here's a little free tip for you. Let's say you're in real estate, right? You could Snapchat your clients and say, guess what? Offer accepted. It's kind of a cool way to let somebody know some good news, right? So it's just something that, you can use and be creative with it. Don't be afraid to be creative with it. YouTube. Video is big. Everybody knows video is big. And what kills me is nobody wants to do video. Oh, I don't want to do video. I look ugly. Oh, I have a face for radio. Oh, guess what? You don't have to show your face on video. You can do whiteboard videos a lot like what we do and just narrate. There is absolutely no reason you have to sit in front of a camera. Now, do I think you should? Yes, I absolutely think you should, but there's other ways to do it as well. So you're going to want to subscribe to other people's channels. Now, here's kind of a fun story for you. I started subscribing to a lot of, different people's channels. And all of a sudden I had these teenagers with these huge followings going, hey, we'll, give you a shout out on our YouTube channel. Okay. Well, that worked out really well. So you're getting free publicity. You're getting free exposure. You're spending all this money on door knockers and business cards and flyers and all this stuff that's getting thrown away or tossed out by kids all the time. Whereas if you can get that free marketing, that free exposure, it's working for you 24/7, 365 days a year. So you tell me, do you want to work smarter or do you want to work harder? You want to subscribe to at least 10 to 20 relevant channels per day, comment on 10 to 20 videos per day, and shoot at least one video per week. I try to shoot 7 in a day, but mine are fast. Mine are whiteboard videos, so I get to do them pretty quickly. And then the other thing that I'm adding to our YouTube channel is just different tips on how to utilize social media a little bit better. Just quick, easy things, 30 seconds, a minute long, just teaching you different platforms in kind of a piecemeal step-by-step format. So there's another thing you can do. So let's go a little bit deeper for a minute. First off, you're going to fail if you don't have a social media strategy. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news or the harbinger of horrors with that, but you got to have a strategy. Tell stories. Here's a bottom line. And Gary Vaynerchuk says it and Seth Godin says it. These guys are huge in the social media realm. Everybody is saying it, but nobody's listening. People hate marketers. They love storytellers. So learn how to tell a story. There's so many different stories that you all can tell. I mean, especially if you've been in the real estate industry or the fitness industry, any industry really where you're interfacing with the public, you're going to have incredible stories to tell. Not that you necessarily have to name names, not that you necessarily have to throw anybody under the bus, but you can at least use things as examples there. One of the things that I counsel my clients around, and I will give this to you for free today, is start writing down just 25 different ideas that you have and tell stories around those ideas. There's your blogs right there. Then start thinking about what are the biggest challenges in my business? What are the questions I get asked the most in my business? What are the biggest pitfalls in my business? Guess what? Those are more things that you can create content around. So you're going to create content that shares valuable information that's relevant to your audience. We're going to talk about relevancy to your audience for a second. Facebook, Twitter, Google Trends, they're going to tell you what people are looking for right now. And you can create content around that. For example, I did one when Naked and Afraid was trending, and I called it Naked and Afraid, the Real Estate Edition. Well, why did I do that? Because I knew that Naked and Afraid was trending, and I could tie those things in together. So you're going to have to use your creativity a little bit. And if you're not a real creative person, you hire somebody who is. Then you're going to promote that. And everything with the blog, this is why I always say start with the blog, because you can repackage that blog into videos, into infographics, into memes, into a million different things. So you're not pressured to create all this different crazy content. You're just going to repackage it for the appropriate platform. For example, you want to share blogs on Twitter. You want to share blogs on Facebook. You want to share memes and infographics on Instagram and Pinterest. So start thinking in those terms. You can also curate content. You can borrow content with permission or attribution from other bloggers or websites. You can have an option to have guest bloggers on your site. Honestly, this is awesome. This is one way that I've gotten several different clients. They'll guest blog for one of the sites that I run or administer, and then all of a sudden they see their leads going up. They see their social media account go up. They're like, "Oh wow, this shit really works." Well, guess what it does? Interview people of interest in your field. Interview somebody who is a top-notch real estate investor if you're in real estate. Interview somebody who has something interesting to say. Interview a chairperson, a CEO. It's amazing how easy it is to get these interviews if you're doing it correctly. And one thing I really advocate everybody reading is a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. It does absolutely tell you how to do that in that book, and it is so incredibly successful. I do it myself. I interview people of interest in my field. I even interview my competitors. What's fun about that is all of a sudden I've got my competitors sharing my content. Whoa, what do you think happens there? Well, people are going to go look at my stuff versus what their competitor is offering, and guess who they're going to pick to do their marketing. So you can be a little sneaky with it if you want, but it really is just another way for you to get content out there, and it's going to inspire somebody else to share your content because all of a sudden you gave them that warm fuzzy like they're important. You can even interview your clients, talk about your success stories. So you're going to have that automatic leverage built into whatever it is you're doing. You can use social media posts or screenshots or comments. I've done this several times on the Smartass Investing blog that I administer, where you can create a blog around what other people are saying and just caption it. And honest to God, that takes me 5 minutes. So it's not difficult to do. Create a calendar to help plan your posts. This is just an example of one way I do it. It's a social media marketing calendar. So I know exactly what I'm going to post on what platform at any given time. And I know a lot of you are going, "Oh my God, this is a lot of work." Well, yeah, it is a lot of work, but it's worth it. A few content creation tips that are going to help you. Posting one blog per day. Statistics are telling us that 81% of all bloggers who post daily get 80% more traffic organically than those who only post once a week or once a month. You take that information from the blog, you repackage it into different formats. So now you've got several blog posts derived from one concept. This is what I was talking about a minute ago. Use a posting schedule tool to help you manage your life. I'm going to talk about a couple of those today. Plan to spend at least 1 to 2 hours a day prospecting on social media. It's 1 to 2 hours a day that's extremely useful, however. Leverage professionals if you get stuck. Hi. Make a blog post about content that you're promoting each month and repost that once per week on your social media channels. Use video to promote your contests, events, and special promotions. And again, you don't have to have your face in front of the video, but video is important. Do a webinar. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. You can even offer paid mastermind webinars if you use the right software. So what sort of content should you post? There's so many different things you can post. Funny memes, infographics, behind the scenes. People love that behind the scenes stuff. A fact about your industry, a blog, a video tip where you're taking a tip, you're shooting a video and you're giving somebody a useful tip about something in your industry. Affiliate links. One of the things that I do coach around is having people sign up for different affiliate programs. That's how I make money when I post things on Facebook. If you see me post something for like $4.99 ink cartridges, yeah, people are going to use that. It's perfect for my penny pincher site. But guess what? I make a commission every time somebody goes and purchases off that. So it gives somebody useful information. It's sending them to a useful website. It's something they need to buy anyway. And if I'm going to make money off of it, my feelings aren't hurt. You can do short commercials that showcase your products and services. Those are always great. Screenshots of your production software. Many bloggers and myself included will do a monthly income report and show you where we're making money and how we're doing it vaguely. But at the same time, that's something else you can do. You can make lead pages. I have a service that does that for me, and I will be emailing that out to you when we're finished here. It's very, very affordable. Case studies are huge. People want to see that what you're saying works. So putting together a case study is important. And I spoke about case studies a little earlier. Testimonials, different things that people are saying about you. And also free downloads. Some of my favorite tools. Social Owl. This allows me to pre-program all of my content on Twitter, Facebook, business pages, Google+, only the business page on that, LinkedIn, and Facebook and LinkedIn groups. So I can stay top of mind 24/7. I can be out having drinks with my friends and I'm still posting on social media and everybody thinks I'm active. I'm not. I'm not always online. I'm not always on social media. I just leveraged myself. So it's a really good way for you to be able to do that. And I'm actually going to give you a demo of this in a little bit. Don't know what to write about? If you have a mad crazy case of writer's block, and I know that happens, this title generator is a huge help. HubSpot's topic generator, you just put in 3 nouns. For those of you who need basic English, I'm kidding, person, place, or thing. And it'll give you blog topics. So it'll automatically generate things that are good with that. There's a couple other tools that I like with that. There's one that will kind of make funny titles for you. Like, for example, I was looking for an article the other day for a client on gourmet cooking. And I used the title generator because I was stumped. And it said how gourmet cooking killed Kenny. So for all my South Park fans out there. Not a graphic designer? That's okay. There's a software application out there called Quizzo. It's a meme generator. So basically you just take your text from your blog and it will make it into a photo for you. Pictochart, free tool where you can create your own infographics. It's pretty simple. It's drag and drop. Of course, you can always hire somebody to create your infographics, but if you're cheap like I am, or if you just feel like you want to spend a whole lot of time screwing around with infographics, that's how you do it. Don't know how to make contests? One option is ShortStack. I've used it in the past. It's push button integration with most social media platforms. It's free for Facebook only. After Facebook, it does charge you about $25 a month. It has worked for me in the past. I have since found something better, which I'm actually going to show you, but it is something that you can utilize. So a few points that I would like you to remember before I do this live demo, because I know we're already 30 minutes into this. God, I'm long-winded, right? So it's all going to start with the plan. You really do need a blog. I don't care who you are. I don't care what industry you're in. If you do not have a blog, you're screwing yourself over. And the reason for that is if you just have a normal web page and it's got maybe 5-6 pages on it, that's only 5 or 6 opportunities you have to be indexed in search engines. Whereas every blog post you add is another opportunity to be indexed in search engines. You see where I'm going with this? A blog can replace your current website. Constant creation of content is key. You do always want to leverage other folks to help you with content. It is a huge time saver. And remember, all content can be repackaged, which is going to save you time. And I am all about saving people time and money. Those are 2 very important things to most people. Blogging and microblogging. Social media, for all of you who say, oh, I'm not a writer, social media is just a mini blog. That's all it is. You're just microblogging. So you use this to your advantage. You look at what people are looking for in the trends that I mentioned before. Again, Facebook trends, Twitter, say that 3 times fast. Twitter trends and Google trends. You use your FAQs as your business for a blog. For example, when I was speaking before about the questions you are asked most in your business, write those down and then write the answers to them. Make it attractive for people to sign up for your newsletter, follow your blog, and follow you on social media. I have a super cool app that I just added to my website where people can schedule with me directly online, which is awesome. And who wouldn't want that? I can do Skype calls. I can even charge people consulting fees and services for different things that I offer direct from a little widget on my site. I can even invoice clients direct from my site using this widget, and I can share documents with them direct from that widget. So if you don't think that's worth the money because it's not expensive, be dead wrong. It's a awesome thing for your business. You are not a marketer. So stop thinking like you're a marketer. You're an entertainer. Be entertaining, be engaging, do something different. People are tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Aren't you tired of seeing the same thing over and over again? So before I go into the demonstration, any questions? Go ahead and type it in the chat box and I will get to it. I'll give y'all a second. Okay, doesn't look like we have any questions. So I am going to show you a couple really cool tricks with Facebook. So here we go. All right, this is my Valkeryie consulting page. And what I'm going to show you about this is a couple different things that are incredibly important. You can promote your local business. This is an awesome thing for you to be able to do. But before I get into that, when I was speaking earlier about having people that you want to invite to your page, you can go into notifications, you can see all friends, and you can invite people who have not yet been invited. So see here, you can go invite. And that's how we're doing the organic promotion of the page, okay? You can also just click here real quick, do a quick little page promotion where your goal is to get more likes, and you can choose your budget, and it's going to tell you exactly how many people you're going to get exposure to every single time. And for those of you who say, well, I don't know what to post and I don't know when to post it, if you go into insights, might not be insights. Okay, so you've got your visits tab, but if you want to see when people are online, you can do it on here. So you've got all of these different options up here, overview, likes. It's going to show you who's unliked, what's organic like, what's paid likes. This is all something that we're putting together as part of our case study. You have your reach here. So it's going to show you where your posts are reaching and how quickly they're reaching. Their visits to your page, where they're coming from. Are they external or are they internal? Your posts. This shows you when people are online. So it's going to tell you exactly when you need to post right here, just in the analytics. So you've got, a lot of people online at 9 a.m. You've got a lot of them on at noon. You've got a lot of them on a little bit after 4, and then the majority of them on at about 8 o'clock. So if you want your reach to be expanded phenomenally, that's how you do it. There's a couple other things that it's probably important for me to point out. You want to have all of these things set up. So you want to take some time, go into your settings, optimize it, allow people to tag you, allow people to see your page, contact your page, all of those different things. Your post attribution, who you want to be posting as when you're posting or commenting on other people's things. Your notifications, your page roles, who's on there, who's part of your company. You can even do your CRM plugins to your Facebook page. I do. And then you've got edit featured page owners. You can have, different featured page. If you have somebody on your page who's getting a little abusive or ugly, you can ban them from your page. It's really that simple. So it's a very, very simple tool. It's just using a little bit of analytics. All of it starts with the insights. You can even export all of your numbers so that you have it in a handy dandy Excel spreadsheet. I do this too because I happen to love spreadsheets. So it's something that you can do pretty simply. So what you can just kind of look at it for a week long and say, okay, I want to look at my page data. I want to look at my post data. What's hitting? What's not hitting? What are people responding to? What are they not responding to? Because remember, Facebook changed their algorithm. So every time you're posting, only 16% of your total audience is seeing what you're posting. So you have to really use hashtags. You have to use leverage. You have to create content that people are just going to want to share. So that's really one of the things that we're looking at here. Now I'm going to show you a couple quick little tips on Twitter. Actually, before I do that, I want to show you what I meant when I said Facebook engagement. Incidentally, if you don't want Facebook to tell you who you get to interact with because you don't think Facebook should be your mommy, you can install an app for Google Chrome called Social Fix. I have Social Fixer 12 on mine, so it just shows me everything. I don't have to be relegated to just one person or another. So you see over here what's trending, Gmail, Tom Holland. You can take these things and you can create content about it, but just you posting something about it is going to increase your exposure. I got a question, does Social Fix work on Firefox? I don't believe it does. I think it's a Chrome only extension. And then as far as groups go, now remember, some of these groups I didn't ask to be added to. I just somehow got added to them. So don't laugh at me too hard when you're looking at my stuff because I just don't have time to go in and clean this up. I'm probably going to have my assistant do it. But you have different things here. Create your success. You can go in, you can post to these different groups. What I like about posting to these different groups is you'll get a notification. every time somebody's posting or responding to a post in a group. So it's nice because it definitely gets you a little bit more exposure. If you're a local business, definitely leverage local groups, join groups over here that you can contact and get affiliated with some other people. It's definitely important. And it's just like my strategy. You want to post in those daily. And don't be promotional when you post. Give them an item of value. Give them a free download, a free report, free information, a link to your blog. Don't be all salesy and promotionally. Now, as you can see here, I did take out an ad. I engaged 204 people. My post reached 23,000 people. Anybody want to take a guess on how much money I pumped into that thing? Well, I'll tell you how much money I pumped into it. $50. So remember when I said $101 per lead? Well, I was well under that. Why? Because I made engaging content. I do have a question that says, can you have a blog where you don't provide a service, but rather just write? Absolutely you can. And that's where affiliate marketing comes in. Not a problem in the least. So let's go over here to Twitter. Same thing with Twitter. What you're going to look at here is what's trending. And if you notice, what's trending on Twitter isn't trending on Facebook. Why? Because you've got two different audiences on each social media platform. Some people prefer Twitter. And by the way, fun fact about Twitter, they are removing the 140 character limit in the next couple months. So you'll be able to go all kinds of crazy when you're putting stuff on Twitter now. But you have different things here, and you see where it says promoted. That's somebody who took out an ad. So you see how they're using hashtags here? It's very important. It's a way of filtering content. It's a way for people to filter content through and say, okay, I'm interested in this and only this. I don't want to know all this other garbage. I want to know more about this. So it's important to use hashtags. I highly recommend creating a hashtag of your own, but that's just me. So that's completely up to you. Now, I know at this point, we're 42 minutes in. You guys are probably feeling a little overwhelmed. You're like, oh my God, this is so much information. How can I consolidate this? How can I run my social media life? And how can I still have a life? Can I even have a life? So, it really does make a huge difference, honestly, to have the right type of posting tools. So I'm going to show you one right now. And this is honestly my favorite. This is the franchise that we purchased, and it does everything for me, and I love it. So as you can see here, what you do is you go into your connections and you can connect all of your different profiles so that you can post to all of your different profiles. What I tend to do, because I like to post different content on different platforms, is I'll disconnect some of my profiles, post what I want, and schedule posts out for what I want to one profile, then disconnect that and then move on to the other. How other people manage it is completely different. There is really no wrong answer. It's what is going to work best for you. But you go through here and you just connect, and it's that simple. And this is why it's so simple. So I can take top news. I can take my feeds. I can program my own feeds in there. Anything. Financial. I've got a whole bunch of different things plugged in here. So what's trending here. And then I can post it now and I can post it later. So I'm going to go into technology just to show you how easy this works. And then I have a free download that I offer. How to get thousands of free targeted Twitter followers. And by the way, this is local Twitter followers. So if you want local followers wherever you're at in the country, in the world, if you're on the moon and you want Twitter followers, this guide will tell you how to get it. So you're going to get thousands of free Twitter followers, and I can go in and preview it. And if you see here, look at the bottom. Oh my God, it's all branded directly to me. It's got my company name. It's got all this. And in exchange for someone's email address, guess what? They get an automatic download of exactly what I'm offering. So I'm going to put in my email address right here. I'm going to download that content. And then what's going to happen is that person's going to get an email with that content in there. Cool, right? So you can basically brand anything you want on the web. The other thing I like about this is you can do custom posts. So if you want to do a link to your blog, whatever, put a message in here and put a link in here. You can choose a content banner there as well. And as you can see, I schedule everything in advance because why? You have to stay top of mind with your social media presence. And this allows me to do that. Monitoring, you can connect these different profiles, your Yelp, your Foursquare, and your Google Places. So you know how sometimes, like back when we were in high school, and for me, that was probably before Christ, but back when I was in high school, you didn't know somebody was talking trash about you unless you went in the girls' bathroom and, saw something written on the stall, like for a mediocre time, call Shauna. So what you can do here is it's going to send you an alert if somebody is out there giving you a negative review on any of these platforms. So you can go and address it with that person immediately. You can go and make your customer happy. And doing that on a public platform makes a difference. It helps you become more trustworthy. Remember how I talked about sweepstakes? Guess what? This does it for you. You can actually plug in any sweepstakes you want direct to your Facebook page, as well as even have a public URL that you can send out to your email database or to your list. Let's say you're offering a deal. Are you offering some kind of discount? Are you offering something kind of cool? Well, hey, you can do it here too. So you go in here, you just simply click, and this, honest to God, does this in 5 clicks or less. So you can offer whatever deal you want. And what are you doing? You're doing an email capture so you can build your list. What this does is it's going to import people into your database, and then you just export those addresses into your CRM tool. And I do this regularly. So once it's exported, I can reset it to 0, and then I've got all kinds of new people that I can add into my database. Social ordering. This is something probably you've never seen before. This actually allows you to buy products directly on Facebook. So you're creating a store as opposed to having to use Shopify, as opposed to having to use these other things that are going to charge you a fee to do it. You just go in here, you plug in the things that you want to sell. You can sell direct to Facebook. You can sell direct to Twitter. You can even accept payments online. The only thing that this does require is a Stripe Pay account, but guess what? Stripe Pay is free. It's very easy to use, and it does the plugin for you. So you're allowed to have a complete shopping cart online that you can use to promote things and go from there. Content banners. You've got all kinds of content banner templates, and I kind of showed you a little while ago that free download template where somebody goes in and enters in their email address. Well, you can do that with any piece of content for them to subscribe to your newsletter, for them to download to something, for them to link to something else. If you've got something that you want to brand at the bottom and you want to link them back to your website because you've got even more good information for them. You can even plug in your affiliate links at the bottom to where people are clicking through and you're either earning a commission or a fee for pay per click. So you're not just promoting content for free. You remember when I said before, I don't do anything unless it makes me money? Same thing. So if I'm going to share an article or a blog or something like that, you can pretty much rest assured I'm going to send it with either a way for somebody to subscribe to my mailing list, somebody to download something so I can put them on my mailing list, somebody to link to something so that I'm getting them back to their website, or advertising to where whatever I'm sharing, I'm still making money regardless of whether it's on my site or not. So that, in a nutshell, boys and girls, at 1:48 p.m. is going to be that. And I see the little chat thing where everybody was taking a guess, and yeah, I'm like, he already knew. He's lying. So yeah, sorry. Don't mean to throw him under the bus, but that's the honest to God truth. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to open this presentation and we'll go ahead and finish up. All right. So for more, you can visit us at Valkeryie.com. Website is redesigned. We are even doing complete upfront pricing. For just about all of our packages, you can schedule FaceTime with me or any of the other big kahunas in the company as I add those into the app where we can actually do a free consultation with you. We're happy to do it. We love talking to people. Well, most people. So with the Social Owl software, yes, I will talk about hiring as well. That's part of a free consultation that I offer, because when I'm doing the free consultation, the model I'm using is not appropriate for everybody. So I like to be as specific as possible. The question was, are you going to talk about hiring as well? The answer is yes. So you can get Social Owl from us today. From now until June 30th, we are offering you for access to our social media marketing software at a 30% discount. It's normally $30 a month. You can get it for $21 a month. Seeing everything it does and knowing that if you had to combine ShortStack and all of these other apps, you'd be paying well over $50 a month. Trust me, this is a steal. You can also get access to our exclusive Facebook mastermind group. It's a closed group that I administer for $5 a month. That's going to give you some really good tips, tricks, tools, ideas, all that good stuff. So if you get stuck on what to post, when to post, whatever, if you've got a quick question, we can answer that for you. If you want us to do all of your setup and optimization and plug you into Social Owl or whatever other platform you like, we can do it. Normally we charge $2.99 for that, but for the month of June, I'm doing it for $1.99 until June 30th. Trust me, that's a steal tool, because as I was looking at our competition, which you will see on our competition Pinterest board, most other companies are charging well over $500 for that. So $199 is nothing. All social media management packages that we offer, if you're like, I just don't have time to do all this shit, Shauna, it's cool. We can do it for you. All those packages are off, $50 off until June 30th. If you do need a free consultation, if you're interested in that, you can schedule it with me online, and then I will send out emails recapping everything, giving you the tools that I talked about in this webinar, as well as links to different really cool things on our site and elsewhere. So before I say adieu at 1:51 in the afternoon on June 23rd, anybody else got any other questions? Anybody want to take a shot at Mike? You are very welcome. I'll leave it open for a few minutes just in case anybody's a slow typer. Yes, the question is, can this work for people in direct sales? Absolutely. You can even do sales platforms that link through to what you're selling. And I know what you're selling because I'm on your Facebook. So yeah, it absolutely can. And I'm sorry it's overwhelming, Kimberly. I try to keep it concise, but there's a lot of shit you got to know. Question is, does a blog have to offer a service, or can it contain stories or articles only? Let me put it to you this way. Stories and articles are a service. And there's really a strategy that I can coach around and teach you to where you can do nothing but curate content, and you're putting ads on your site and you're generating income from that. So no, you do not have to offer a service. You don't have to even offer a product. Content in and of itself is the oldest product and service out there. Fun joke while I'm waiting for any other questions is, a lot of people say prostitution is the oldest profession. It's not. It's content marketing, because I guarantee you people were writing things about dinosaurs on cave walls long before they figured out that they could get busy. Any other questions? No problem. You are very, very welcome. Anybody else? Well, I hope everybody who came today learned something. Check your inbox for an email that will go out. I will even offer a free replay of everything that we went over today. So if you want to kind of fast forward through something, or something didn't make a whole lot of sense to you, please go ahead and check that out. And we will go from there. But, like I said, I hope everybody got something out of it. I know I enjoy listening to myself talk. That's a joke. But anyway, thank you all for attending. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to do this. And with that, I'm going to sign off and end the meeting. So there is a quick survey after the meeting on how I did. If you wouldn't mind taking it, I would greatly appreciate it. If you think I suck, don't take the survey. But anyway, go ahead, figure that out, spill that out for me if you would. And I will be in touch soon. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I tried to keep it under an hour. So there you go. Talk to you soon.